All right, let me share my screen. Okay, yeah. Good morning, team. Thanks for joining on Saturday morning again. And we are today as a part of Agile series. So this is the sixth session, and as you all know, we are recording these sessions and keeping in our uploading in our YouTube channel. You can just go to our chapter handle and look for Agile series playlist. You can see we have till now we have 5 sessions on various topics, and you can subscribe to our channel and then pass on whoever want to learn Agile. Okay, so yeah, today we have Ashutosh sir to cover on gamification techniques and little bit about Ashutosh, and he's you know very senior industry coach and has is a speaker, known speaker, having around 25 plus years of experience in coaching, mentoring, and thought leadership, and helping organization to transform in better way of working. These are the QR codes. You can scan them and connect in LinkedIn, and also he has his own YouTube channel where you have lots of videos on Agile. You can look at it. And thank you, Ashutosh sir, for accepting to once again come back to PMIPCC and talk as a part of PMIPCC Agile series. Earlier, we have you on other KSS forums, and thank you once again for accepting us and sharing your thoughts on this gamification techniques, which is very popular topic. I know you are a pro in that topic. I'll hand over to you, sir, now.
Thanks, sir. I hope my voice is audible to everyone as
Yeah,
we speak.
yes.
Okay, and I'm just sharing my screen also so that all of us can get the context around it. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, great. So first of all, thanks a lot for PMI PCC Hyderabad for giving me an opportunity to host this webinar. I'm super excited to talk about gamification techniques, how they are used, what are the different techniques. Just wanted to let you know that I'll be covering around 6 to 7 gamification techniques. Each of this 6 to 7 gamification technique is an independent workshop which I have taken. So whether it is, and you will get to know, I mean, there are some very interesting gamification techniques which I'll be covering. I've also used some standard games which are available in the market, like for example, one picture you see here on the screen, right? Monopoly. I've used the currency notes of Monopoly for one of the games, right? Scrabble, I have used that to conduct gamification exercise in my coaching journey, right? Those are the techniques which I'll be talking about. I'll also try to highlight the importance of gamification, why gamification is most talked about topic. And this is not really the final authority on the subject. What I have is just a drop in a small ocean where I have tried to devise some games. I've also created one game on my own, which I'll be talking about, the Queen of Hearts. The whole intention and the idea is for we as coaches, people who are participating today, to get an idea that sky is the limit. So tomorrow, if you want to apply any of these techniques, or if you want to create your own game, this webinar should actually provoke you to do that. That's the whole intention of having this gamification technique. Now, there's a lot of debate in the industry that should we really trivialize agile coaching to a gamification. If you ask me personally, I am a good believer, and I would say a good proponent of gamification techniques, because there are some techniques which we as coaches, we may not be able to teach well through a normal coaching style, be it a classroom session, or be it a one-on-one coaching session or a group coaching session. You need a prop like a gamification tool or a gamification technique to drive home that concept. So if you ask me personally, I'm a big fan or a proponent of these gamification techniques. All right, moving ahead. So what are gamification techniques all about? So this is based on the classic theory of games, which says that, you know what, if you introduce some fun element in your learning, if you introduce some joyful, I would say joyful activities when you're teaching a concept, it is much easier to drive home that concept. Imagine we teaching to our kids, right? Imagine when our kids were young, we never used to teach them, okay, tiger is a animal who stays in the jungle, right? Or we never used to say that lions are basically ferocious animal. We used to show them pictures, right? We used to show them pictures, and then our kids used to be, oh my god, it looks like a very massive creature with teeth, with big teeth and all, and grabbing an animal, etc., right? Those are the pictures what we used to show. Or for example, we used to show a picture of a bird like a sparrow, or a mild animals we used to show like a rabbit, right? So those were used to create a kind of a comfort factor in the child, right? So a picture is worth also 1,000 words, as they say, right? Similarly, gamification techniques, they introduce a fun element, they introduce learning through a fun element. I also do another technique which is closely linked with this, though I'm not going to talk about it today. It is about storytelling. So what I also do is I basically have a kind of a hybrid way, in which way, not a hybrid way of office and home working. So maybe one team I will use gamification techniques, for other teams I will use storytelling. So in storytelling, what we have is we have normal tales what we have heard, or poems like Baba Black Sheep, how do you do, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? All those poems are there, and through those poems, I have tried to drive home some of the coaching concepts which are there. So coming back, that's a little digression, but what I'm trying to tell is you have to bring about fun elements like this. So gamification is not the only way of bringing fun element, which is what I'm trying to tell. This is one of the ways. Another way is you can do through storytelling. You can have those childhood tales which are there, which will help you to drive home a concept. And the whole idea about gamification technique is that it brings about a sense of competition. Team members understand the fact that yes, if we are to become a self-organized cross-functional team, we have to really compete with each other. So that's the main advantage of that is what I feel is the main critical advantage of having these gamification techniques. And these are techniques which I've used, as I said, for one-on-one coaching session, one-to-many coaching sessions, group coaching, leadership coaching, all you name it, and these techniques can be used. And each one of them, as I said earlier, can be converted into a workshop of minimum 2 hours. Okay, so I've done workshops also on each one of them during my coaching construct. All right, let us start with games then. Let us try to understand what can be the games which are there. The first game which I have, wherein I used currency notes from Monopoly, is buy a feature game. Now, this is a very interesting game. The objective of this game is targeted towards product owners and product managers. We all know prioritization techniques of product backlog. We all have heard about the Kano model, the Moscow model of prioritization, or for that matter, WSJF, WSJF, weighted shortest job first, if you are using SAFE. But in reality, how do we prioritize the backlog? How do we ensure that out of the items in the product backlog, the right set of features are prioritized and they are picked up for development? Now, in this game, what happens is, let us take a product. Let us say an OTT platform. Okay, any OTT platform you can take. You can take Z5, you can take any of these Sun platform also, which is an OTT platform, or for that matter, Netflix or Amazon Prime. Let us say this is a product what we are going to develop. We have around 25 features in this product. Okay, so each feature has got a price attached to it. Just to give an example of a feature, profile management is a feature, or ability to view the trailer of a movie is a feature, ability to move fast forward by 10 seconds, you know, right? That button which allows you to skip ads and move fast forward 10 seconds or come before 10 seconds, that is a feature, right? Payment gateway is a feature. So each feature has got a price. Let us assume that the total backlog value is 100,000 rupees. 1 lakh rupees is the total backlog value. What we do in this game is we give only 40,000 as money to every product owner. So each product owner gets a cash, the monopoly cash of 40,000 is what each product owner is going to get. And within that 1 lakh feature, they have to decide where they will put the money on. Where will they put 40,000 all? Will they like to buy all? Obviously, they can't buy everything. They won't be in a position to buy each and every feature because the total backlog value is 100,000 rupees. So it's highly impossible for them to buy the entire backlog what is there. Now, this game actually provokes a thought process in the minds of a product owner that, you know what, I mean, our resources are limited and we have to spend them judiciously. 1,40,000. We can alter the ratio, of course. We can make it 35,000 or 55,000. But generally, I have seen that a ratio of 40,000 is something what comes out in a better way. That is a better representation is what I have normally seen. So this is a game. Has anyone used this game? Has anyone tried this game before? Just wanted to quickly check from anyone. Have you used this game by any chance? And maybe you can put it in the chat window as I speak, and I'll come to know if you have used this game or if you have utilized this game. Okay, so many people are saying not yet. Okay, so I would sincerely request all of you to try this game, and it's a very fun game. And later on, what happens in this game is once the team decides, so you can divide the product owners into two teams. Let's say I have got 5 people playing this game. Maybe one team has got 2 people, another team has got 3 people, and then we can compare which feature did team A bought, which feature did team B bought, right? So we can do that comparison amongst themselves, and we can see and we can question the team as to why did you think this was a worthwhile investment, or why did you invest in X feature vis-a-vis Y feature? What are the common features which both the teams have invested into? Which is a feature which team A has invested but team B has not invested, and vice versa. So you can do a benchmarking. As I said, any gamification activity is an opportunity for collaboration. It's an opportunity for competition. It's an opportunity for learning. So this is the first game which is there. I have tried it in, as I said, one area where I've tried it is if you're building an OTT platform. Another place where I have played this game in one of the engagement is where they were building a bot software, right? We normally have these bots nowadays, right? If you go on ICICI or HDFC Bank site, there's a bot which comes and which starts asking you questions. So we have tried to play this game on that particular application. Then also I have played this game for an organization which was developing a product like a banking product, right? A banking app like ICICI, HDFC banking app. So you name it and you can use this technique which is there. Buy a feature, prioritizing the product backlog. The critical thing here is don't give the cash which covers all the backlog elements. Your backlog might be of 1 lakh rupees, but give them a cash which is equivalent to only 40,000 or 45,000. That's the mantra of this game to be successful. All right, let us go to the next game, which is their Queen of Hearts. And this is a game which I have developed. How many of you are playing a role of a Scrum Master or an Agile coach? Let me ask you that question. You can just let me know how many of you are playing the role of a Scrum Master or an Agile coach. So that, you can just raise your hand, or you can just let me know. Okay, so we have folks who are playing the Scrum Master or an Agile coach role. Okay, great. Great to see that. Okay. All right. So I do see a lot of people who have played the role of an agile coach or a scrum master. And this game is for you. This Queen of Hearts game is for you. We use the 16 picture cards in this game. Okay. So I have to set some context around the picture cards. I mean, I'm sure all of us know these cards, but just in case anyone has not played cards, or just in any case is not aware about the vocabulary of cards. So this is a game for scrum masters and coaches. Many times when we go into an engagement, we tend to go into a situation where we get different types of personalities. We interact with different types of stakeholders. Like as an agile coach or a scrum master, I will interact with a product owner, I will interact with a delivery head, I will interact with a leadership team. Okay, so this game, as an agile coach, when I go into a transformation, I need to understand what should be my coaching style, how exactly I should devise a coaching approach, considering the role dynamics which are there in a transformation, and considering the personality dimensions which are there. Okay, so this game, you require these 16 cards which are there. Only 16 cards. A standard playing card has got 52 cards. You just need these 16 cards which are there: aces, king, queen, and jack. And these are the 16, these are the 4 pairs. These are the 4 pairs which we call as the picture cards. Apart from this, if you observe, Okay, apart from this, I'll come to this slide a little later. There are 4 types of suit cards. What is a suit card? A picture is there on the card. So we have a spade, we have a diamond, sorry, we have a heart, sorry, to begin with. Then we have a club, and then we have a diamond. Okay, so I hope the matrix is clear now, right? 4 types of suit cards. I'll repeat: spade, a heart, club, and diamond. And 4 types of what we call as picture cards: aces, king, queen, and jack. Now, the picture card represents a role in your transformation. For example, aces are senior management, senior leadership or management. Obviously, they are visionary, they have strategic goals, they work on OKRs, is what we know. The C-suite level, the CIO, CXO level in a transformation. That is a aces what we have. King is a delivery leadership, your project delivery leadership. They have to maintain client relationship. They have to make sure that, I mean, all those things they do, right? To make sure the customer is happy, delivery excellence, the team works with them to ensure that at the end of the day, the customer is happy and they get a repeat business or their business is enhanced. Queen is a scrum master who's a coach and a servant leader to the team. And Jack is a product owner. So those are the 4 hierarchies in this card. Okay, in this picture card, which are there. These hierarchies represent the power which they have, the role which they are playing, the style which they are having, and the personality which they will be having. So that is what this hierarchy represents. Okay, moving ahead, the suit card represents a unique personality. So people with spade, if I am a spade personality, I am a very direct and a blunt person. I may not like people joking in the office. Okay, I won't hesitate to call a person a spade, right? I will immediately, I'll no nonsense. I will tolerate no nonsense. So if anyone is trying to beat around the bush, I'm definitely going to catch that person and make sure that this person gives me facts rather than playing around with numbers. So I need unfiltered data. Nothing wrong in any of these personalities. Okay, by the way, whatever I'm going to talk about, these 4 personalities, there's nothing wrong in this personality. Okay, these are just characteristics which we find even in our family members, even in our relatives. We find these personality people, right? So spade personality people are direct and blunt. Heart personality people are very emotional, right? People centric, empathy, warmth, strong EQ. So they have a lot of human sense with them. But at the same time, these are the people who can easily be taken for a ride. So if I'm a heart personality manager, and if my team member asks for a 15 days leave, I will give it without even realizing the repercussions of it on my project, which is the wrong thing, right? So each personality has got some shades of black and white. Just try to remember, spade is not entirely a villain in the movie, and heart is not entirely a hero in the movie. There are shades of gray between the two. All right. Club. Club folks are very hardworking folks. You call them on a weekend, you ask them to stretch. They are very hardworking people. Okay. But the problem with them is they are very chaotic. They are very confused. And that's why they end up into that situation. Had they done smart work instead of hard work, they would have been really successful. No doubt they are hardworking professionals. They will listen to you. They will obey your orders. But many times they are confused, they are unclear what is required, and that's why they end up working on weekends. They end up spending long hours in office. And last but not the least, we have diamond personality folks are number oriented. They look for numbers, they look for matrix, they look for money, they look for ratios. They are a big fan of these ratios, whether it's a Sadu ratio or any other ratio. They're a big fan, so they're always driven by numbers. So those are the 4 personalities which are there, which are represented by a card. Now, how is this game played? Okay, now when I do this exercise in a workshop mode, what usually happens is I lay down the cards on the table face down and ask coaches to select one card from each pack. And whatever combination comes, you have to work as a team to come out with the coaching strategy. For example, let us say this combination comes in. This is a combination comes in. Your senior management is a diamond. Your delivery head is a king. Your scrum master is a spade. And your product owner, that's a correction needed. Your product owner, it's or a product manager, that's why it is PM. Product owner or product manager is a club. So what kind of a challenge you as a coach, so that is me, okay, that is me in the role of an agile coach. If I am an agile coach, what kind of a challenge will I face? Can anyone tell me? If you're a coach in this transformation, what is the biggest challenge you're likely to face in this transformation? Let's see if someone has any insights into this. I'll just wait for answers to come in and then I will reveal what I think could be the challenges you could be facing. Remember, diamond is number oriented, heart is emotional, scrum master, which is a spade, is direct and blunt, and club is a hard working but confused person. No, identify who's who. I didn't get. What do you mean by that? I'm asking what is the challenge as a coach you will find in this situation. Obviously, this is not a work of fiction. Okay, I have worked with this combination in my transformation journey. This is not a work of fiction. These are real people. Obviously, I can't name those people for obvious reasons. Mm. So the biggest challenge you will find in this transformation engagement is a scrum master. How do you coach such a scrum master who's very direct and blunt? Scrum master needs to be having that servant leadership and a true leadership attribute, right? There'll be a major clash between a product manager or a product owner and a scrum master. And I faced that issue. I had to coach each one of them individually. I had to bring about some heart element into this personality. I had to bring about some diamond element into this personality, because product owners should actually be after numbers, right? What is the return on investment on the product what you have created? Is the product really benefiting you? Is the product at the end of the day really giving you returns? So those are the things what a product owner or a product manager should be worried about or should be talking about. So that's what we have tried to do as a coaching element. And there was also problem between these two people. This person was very emotional. The person whom you see there as a king, he was very emotional personality which was there. And the problem with that personality was that he was too soft spoken. He was very soft spoken, and the senior management expectation was to get numbers which they were not getting. You know what happened in this engagement? Something very interesting happened in this engagement. These two people became very good friends, and this layer in fact got bypassed completely. The middle layer or the delivery head layer got bypassed completely. Whatever the senior management or the leadership wanted, they were directly getting it from scrum masters, because inherently there was a good combination skills which were matching for both these personalities. One needed a number, the other could actually use a command and control techniques to bring about that, but in the long run this was not sustainable. It might work in the short term where you as a scrum master have a command and control personality, but in the long run this is definitely not going to work out, right? People will get frustrated, people will leave the organization, there'll be huge attrition, you'll end up creating a toxic culture in the organization. So those will be the problems which will come out of this transformation what is there, right? So this was what was found, or this is what I observed. So this was the key observation. We play this game actually, as I said, this is a workshop where we play and where everyone writes on a piece of paper these things as a group. Again, this is a group activity which I play. And now obviously the question will be that where will I use it in the real world? In a real world, you alone have to play this, obviously, right? When you go into a new transformation engagement, this is a game which you can play. You can identify the personality traits and how are you going to approach these people? What is your coaching roadmap? What is your coaching backlog, or what is your coaching blueprint for such a team? Right, you have to come out with a strategy around it, right? But when I conduct a workshop, obviously it's a breakout activity which is conducted, and we create breakout channels around it, and then we conduct this particular activity. So by the way, any idea how many combinations are possible? How many combinations you can get here in this 4x4 matrix? What is there? What, 16? Okay, yeah, it's a permutation and combination problem. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of mathematics. Suddenly I'm reminded of class 10 permutation and combination chapter. By the way, I was not good in mathematics, but yeah, it is a 4C4. It's a 4C4. I mean, you do the calculation. Okay, don't ask me to do the calculation. But the mathematics what we studied in class, right, class 9th, class 10, permutations and combination. Those many combinations will come. And as I said, you as a coach might not have worked in all the combinations, but definitely you will get a combination where you have encountered such personalities. Also in real world, you will find always that there's a mix and match of personalities. You might have a shade of a person who's a diamond and a heart blended in one, or a spade and a club blended in one, or a spade and a diamond blended in one. So personalities are not something like binary, right? 0 or 1. right? There are always shades, what we say, right? I mean, we say the same for actors also, right? You cannot be the brilliant actor. There will be some shade of negativity which is there, right? So that is the game which is a coaching queen of hearts. I call it as a queen of hearts. This is a game which I have created, by the way. Okay, I have also written an article on this on LinkedIn. So if you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you can read a full article on this. And I really love to play this game. I mean, whenever I get an opportunity, I really tend to play it. Okay, so there's a question, power interest matrix, where we can club. Now that's a different tool altogether, right? I think you're talking about the identify stakeholder matrix from PMP, right? That is a totally different matrix. This is a gamification exercise which is there. That is different. This is different. That is more related to your communication with your stakeholders. This is more related with your coaching strategy. Okay, this is how will you identify or craft your coaching strategy as a part of it. So that tool is a different tool. Each tool has got a different purpose. Okay, though there could be some similarities which are there, but there's a vital difference between a power interest grid and this tool which I'm trying to create, or which I'm trying to use. Okay, so this was our second game which was there. Let us move ahead. Let us move ahead and let us further try to understand the third game, Agile Scrabble. Now, this is a game which I had played in a conference, 2019 Fun Conference in Gurugram. And this obviously, I have not found an online version of it, to be very honest. So this game was in a slumber during the COVID-19 period. But again, now that I have started delivering talks in person, now that the COVID situation has improved and many of the in-person conferences have started, I have again started playing this game, and also in my coaching engagement. Now, Scrabble, if you look at it, those of you who are Scrabble aficionados would know this. Scrabble is a game which has got 100 letters in it. Okay, so there are 100 tiles which are there. And from those 100 tiles, we have to actually build a vocabulary. We have to build a word list out of that 100 tiles. Now, what I do here is that the rule of the game is very simple, that we are going to play Scrabble, but we are only going to use a word which is in an agile and DevOps context. Okay, something which is in the agile and DevOps vocabulary is only we are going to use. No proper names allowed. For example, I cannot create a word called Dean Leffingwell, who's a co-creator, who's a creator of Safe. I cannot use the word Ken Schwaber, right? Creator of Scrum, right? Co-creator of Scrum framework, Jeff Sutherland. These names are not allowed. Okay, so no proper names are allowed. Tool names are allowed to be used. For example, you can use Rally, you can use Jira, you can use what we call as the standard tools which are there. So tool names are absolutely allowed to be used. Okay, so there's no problem in using tool names. And then obviously the judge's decision is final, right? So you cannot I mean, use a name and then figure out whether this name is really there or not. So we need a judge who will decide whether that name is a proper name, it's a valid name or not, is what the judge's role is. Okay, and no diagonal entries allowed. I think that is there in the standard Scrabble also, right? And in case the team happens to use all the letters, all the 100 tiles, then you get what we call as 100 extra points. So you'll be getting 100 extra points as a bonus is what we give the team. Okay, so this is a game. Now what we do is we do it something very interestingly. We usually require 8 to 9 participants for this game. Okay, so we divide a team into two groups. Okay, we divide the team into two groups which are there, 50 pieces each. Okay, each team has got 50 pieces with them randomly. We randomly mix the letters and give 50 pieces to team A and 50 pieces to team B. Now this is a simulation of an offshore on-site engagement. Okay, when this game is being played between these two teams, they are not supposed to talk with each other. So we separate them out. Team A sits at one area of the room, team B sits at another area of the room. So there is no on-site to offshore visit allowed. Okay, what was allowed in the normal case, right? That offshore people can go to on-site, on-site can go to offshore. Each team has to use 50 pieces. So we need two boards. Each team is given a single board. So our team A works on one board. They use 50 pieces to create a vocabulary. Team B uses those 50 letters, and then they use basically to create a vocabulary. After 15 minutes, when the board is ready, or whatever time, I mean, we give them around 20-25 minutes. When the board is ready, now we ask the two teams to come together and consolidate their word list. Whatever are common words, they can use it only once. For example, if team A has also used stand up and team B has also used stand up, they can use it only once. Okay, so we first calculate the value of team A and value of team B. We note it down, and then they ask that now you can jointly work, and now you have to create a common vocabulary list and see what is the value, what comes out. And you won't believe the sum of the parts, I mean, the combination value is always higher than what they individually did it. Okay, how to calculate the value? Each Scrabble letter has got a number, no? So if I put the word Scrum, S has got a number, C has got a number, R has got a number. That is how you calculate the business value in Scrabble, right? There are some triple letter words, by the way. There are some on the board, if you see, there are triple letter words which are there. That is the maximum value in answer. You have to see if the team is really challenging itself to create words on that. So that basically this kind of a exercise, it actually drives home the, yeah, these are the values, by the way, on the letter. If you see on the picture, if you see, S has got a 1 value, C has got 3, R has got 1, A has got 1. That is how the value is calculated. You will see some triple letter scores. So if you put a letter on this, you'll get a triple letter. So if I manage to put S, I'll get 3 marks instead of 1. There's a double word score. So if the word Scrum comes in here, that entire word gets double word. I mean, it's doubled. The score is doubled. The whole idea of this is the power of collaboration. Individually, when you work, and when you have limited resources, 50 plus 50 tiles, believe me, it is observed that team members are left with 8 to 10 tiles. It's like a value which you could not realize. Ideally, you should have used all the 50 letters, right? Or all the 50 pieces. But here, unfortunately, teams are generally able to utilize only 40 to 42 pieces is what we see. But when they come together, they're able to combine it and come out with a better version of this board. So we need 3 boards for this per team, because team A, team B, one board. And when they consolidate, we ask them to keep their existing board and try to take a photograph and try to bring it into one board, right? And try to come out with a vocabulary. This also makes people understand the key agile terms. This is a good exercise for basically the vocabulary, right? To build an agile vocabulary. Like, people may not know DevOps, some people may not know DOD, DOR, but this is a good opportunity for people to make them understand how exactly is the agile vocabulary and what are the new terms which are there. Yeah, so do play this game, and let me know the feedback about this game, and I'll be more than happy to know how you have applied this game in your coaching journey and what are the key learnings what you have got out of it. All right, let us move ahead. Let us further move ahead to game number 4. And this is a product which, again, one of my colleagues gave. She's one of the leading chapter members of PMI Mumbai. I must thank her, Priya Patra. So this game actually has been derived from her. She used it obviously for user story writing. I use it for multiple purposes. Okay, but she actually taught me this game. Okay, Priya Patra. I think many of the PMI Hyderabad chapters will be knowing her. So she's the one who actually introduced me to this game. This is called Story Cubes. Now this is a product which is available on Amazon. If you go on Amazon right now, just search Story Cubes. This is available. In fact, you'll be surprised to know. I don't know if it happens with this group. In the earlier group, when I covered this topic, people came back to me and said, we already had this tool in our home. Our kids were using it. So I don't know if your kids might already be having this in their toy box. Okay, just check it out. You might be surprised to find that this is a product available with them. Actually, this is a product which is used for kids to help them write stories. Okay, so this product has got 9 dices, and these are not normal dices which have got numbers on them. These are dices which have got pictures on them. As you can see, some very interesting picture, a picture of a tortoise, a picture of a sheep, a picture of a question mark, a picture of a lock. So these are very pictures from our day-to-day life which are embedded on this tool. The purpose is that you roll 3 dices, and whatever combination of picture comes, you write a story out of it. This is what this product is used for. Now, where have I used this product? Many times when we as product managers or product owners are struggling to write a good user story, or we are struggling to think about a scenario, believe me, this tool helps. Just roll the 3 dices. Whatever picture comes, try to contextualize it in your story. Okay, you will, believe me, you will be able to extract a lot of functional and non-functional requirements out of it. Scenarios which you would have not even imagined, scenarios which you normally might skip when you're writing a user story. This helps you to do that. Okay, this is a very powerful tool, and not necessarily you have to use 9 dices. You can start with 3 dices, and then later on you can add more dices. As you move along, you can keep on adding more dices to this repository which is there. But believe me, as I said, right, I mean, I have used this tool. I've extensively used this tool, to coach product owners, to coach product managers as to how to write a good user story. Apart from this, I have also used this in a retrospective. So many times, one of the challenges we face is that in retrospectives, our team members do not talk. They are very silent, right? And however you coach them, however you tell them, they do not open their mouth, sorry, right? They do not open their mouth, right? They're pretty silent. They will say that, no, we agree with what has been said, or, I have nothing more to contribute. I think we have already covered all the points. So you'll always hear those kind of arguments from the team members, right? So in such a scenario, you might want to use this as a technique or a tool, what is there. The reason being that we do something called as a silent retrospective. I don't know if anyone has done a silent retrospective where no one speaks. People just write down on a sticky note, place it on a board, and then we discuss without the names. They put their comments, what went well, what did not go well, and what are the areas of improvement on a sticky note, and they write it and put it on a board. Now, to do that, you can give this as a tool. You can say that, okay, roll the dice and try to imagine what happened in the this sprint. Like, for example, I get a tortoise, I get a clock, and I get a question mark. Okay, so three pictures I get from this dice. I get a tortoise. Okay, from this picture I get a clock, and from this picture I get a question mark. Maybe what comes to my mind is there was an impediment which had to be resolved quickly, but the team took a lot of time. They were moving at a snail pace or a pace of a tortoise. We lost time because of that, and no one was clear what is the impediment for this, right? So no one was clear what exactly is the impediment for this particular for this particular impediment. So this is a gamification exercise using the dices. Believe me, try using it. Again, I'm going to strongly recommend each one of you. I see 50 participants in the class, plus now it is 51 plus panelists. Each one of you to at least try using these tools. It's okay if you're not finding it beneficial. I can understand you might say that, no, this is not something which I needed, or I did not like this tool, but at least try it once. I would strongly recommend try each of these tools at least once. And there's an online version of this also available. So this was not a tool which lost its relevance in pandemic. They came out. Rovi is the name of the company. Rory, sorry, Rory is the name of the company which produces this tool, and they had come out with an online version of this also during the pandemic. So do try to use this tool, especially the Story Cube tool, which is also one of the very interesting tools which is there. Yeah, so this is what I just now told you, that take 3 dices, roll the 3 dices together, interpret the pictures arrived, and craft a story out of them. And we'll have to do it multiple times, right, till we make sure that there's enough traceability with what the product pain point we are trying to solve, right? So they are very interesting pictures, by the way, and they have series also. Now this is an orange color one which I have showed you. They also have a blue color one which has got a different set of pictures, and I think they have recently introduced a green color one also. So if you go on the Amazon site, you will see all the color combinations of these story cubes which are available. Okay, let us move ahead. Let us further move ahead, and let us see another tool which is there. Now this tool is similar to story cubes, but it's coming from Management 3.0 framework. So those of you who are Management 3.0 trained or certified will be knowing about this tool. This is called as a improve cards. So there are around 50 to 60 cards, and again these cards have got pictures on them. So they have got pictures, normal pictures, what we see, right? People having a conversation, or basically what we call it as basically normal pictures which are there, as a part of it. So this is what we see it as a part of this tool which is there, right? So these are normal pictures which are there, which we see as a part of this cards which are there. And like you can see tic-tac-toe, you can see hammer. I mean, those are the picture cards which are there, right? Now the purpose of this, this is basically pick up randomly 4 to 5 cards and try to figure out what is the story it is trying to give it. Okay, so for example, if you look at it, if you look at this, you get a, let us say, two people talking, a rainbow, and let us say a cat sleeping, as you can see there, right? Okay, there's no rainbow here. There's a balloons which are there. Sorry, not a rainbow. There's a balloon which are there, different color balloons which we have. Then two people talking and a cat sleeping. So maybe we can say that, you know what, our team is not a diverse team today. Today, as we speak, our team is not a diverse team. What we have, it's a highly, I would say, non-diverse team which is there. Or we might come out with this, like let's say if this and this, we can say that the direction is missing in the requirement team. They're going everywhere, right? They're going everywhere. Or this, we can say no one is ready to listen to me, right? So those are the things what can come out, or those are the I mean, that is what will come out of this game which is there, which are called as the picture cards. Again, the usage is similar to what we saw in the previous story cubes exercise. What is there, the usage is exactly similar. So that's why I'm not spending too much time on this. But either you can use a story cube, which I find it much more easier, or you can use these picture cards. And these are not the only picture cards. Okay, there are many picture cards or many combinations what can come out of this. Okay, game number 6. We have two more games, and I'm pretty sure that we should be able to cover them before the time elapses. So game number 6 is about what we call as coaching wheel of change. Now, this is a game which has not, I mean, which is not something related. This is, or I would put it in a different way. This is a game related to personal coaching. Okay, and this coaching wheel of change is a game which has been it's a tool. Actually, it's not really a game, but I have tried to gamify it. It's a tool developed by very famous coaching guru Marshall Goldsmith, and he has come out with this model for personal coaching. So if you're in a personal coaching session, and you have certain problems which are going on, you take a jot down those problems, and you try to use this tool to contextualize it, or to figure out how I solve this problem. For example, I'm in a personal coaching session. The problems which I might disclose, by the way, these are not my problems. Okay, I'm just telling them for this particular session. The problems which I could be that I'm unable to quit smoking. Okay, or you know what, I've become very indisciplined. I have gained weight and I'm not able to reduce it. However, I try to control, I cannot control the sweet temptation, right? Or basically, I get angry very quickly nowadays. I shout at my team members. So these are some standard problems which I have, which I use this tool for. Okay, so what you do is, once your problems are listed, you first list down all the problems in a personal coaching session like this. You create a list of problems which are there. Okay, so let us say the problem is I'm a smoker and I want to leave smoking. So I will say that eradicating may not be possible, but I'll at least try to reduce it. So I'll put it in the eliminating quadrant. So there are 4 quadrants: habit which I want to change, habit which I want to eliminate, habit which I will continue to accept, and habit I will preserve. Let us say, if I say that, you know what, I know I'm a smoker, but I'm going to keep it here. I've accepted the fact. What does this indicate? Can anyone tell me about my personality? I'm a smoker, but you know what? I tried doing it in the past. I applied even the nicotine patch. It does not work. So let me accept as it is. What am I trying to do here? Can anyone tell me? Anyone would like to add? I hope the scenario is clear. I'm trying to I'm trying to make peace with it. It's not preserving, it's accepting, by the way. But what is it I'm trying to do here? As an individual, I know cigarette smoking is injurious to health. It's a statutory note on the packet which is there. And I'm saying that I will make peace with it. I'm basically fooling myself. Yeah, not accepting change for good. I'm actually fooling myself. Yeah, I mean, absolutely right. I'm actually fooling myself in that zone. Although I say that I'm making peace, in reality, I'm not making peace with it. Right. So that is accepting as it is. Right. That is accepting as it is. So I will either put it in reducing, or I will put it in eradicating. Let's say I want to start exercising. I have not been exercising so far. So I will put that here. Okay. Adding. I will start exercising. Or I want to improve something. I want to improve something. So I've been able to reduce weight by 5 kilos in last 1 month. Now I want to again improve on it. So I will put it in improving. This is where this tool is used. This is the original usage of this tool. Okay. Just to set the context and just to make you realize what is the original benefit of this tool. So either you create something, eliminate it, accept it, or preserve it. Things which you want to keep, okay, things which you want to change, things which are positive, and things which are negative. Like smoking is a negative thing, but I'm keeping it here. Okay, it's in the negative quadrant, but I'm keeping it here. I've accepted it. exercise is a positive thing, which I'm changing it. I'm changing some habit. There are some habits which I will keep. For example, teaching my daughter, spending time with my daughter every day, let's say half an hour, I'll maintain that, right? Even so, howsoever I'm busy, I am, howsoever meetings I have, I'll make sure that I will have a 1 hour kept for my daughter. So this is the original purpose of this tool. Now that you have realized this original purpose of this tool, let me show you how you can use it in an agile way of working. So in an agile way of working, when you observe your team, you come out with a laundry list of issues which the teams are facing currently. So I have listed down some random issues which our teams could be facing: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. These are, I think, scenarios which we as coaches would have observed. I'm pretty sure each one of us would have observed these scenarios. Each one of us would have seen these patterns. Now, there are some patterns in this scenario. There are some anti-patterns in this scenario. You can easily make out, right? For example, all teams basically are empowered to take decision. This is a good sign. But definition of done exists but rarely, already exists but rarely visited, is a negative sign. So once I have this list, okay, what I do is, this is an exercise which you can do with the team. Okay, this is an exercise which I can do with my team, which is there. Are you all able to see slide number 15, friends? I'm on slide number 15. I'm on slide number 15. Can you all see slide number 15?
Now we can see. Yeah. Yes.
Everyone, can I have a confirmation? Oh, okay. I think it was frozen for some time. Sorry for that. Yeah. So this is a list which I have. This is an entire list. I think you heard me talking about the previous slide where I talked about this model. Now this is a slide what I have. And in this slide, we have seen some patterns and anti-patterns of our agile team which are there. What I do is I take them to the team and I tell them, okay, let us play this exercise. Let us try to place each item on one sticky note. And as a team, you tell me where you want to place it. Rather than I telling you, you tell me as a team, what will you do with item A? Team members doing retrospective just for the sake of doing it. The team said that, yeah, we might accept it as of now because we really don't get time for retrospective. But then the counter to that will be that over a period of time, this sticky note has to move. Teams have a plan for automating test cases. B point is here. We will maintain it. This is something a good point. We will maintain it. Point number C. No event related to Scrum of Scrum found. This was a scaled agile implementation. They said that we will improve on it. We'll make sure that Scrum of Scrum happens. Point number D. 2 to 3 teams have large number of stories as spillovers. Definitely, this is something which we have to eradicate. This is point number D, which is there. So this exercise helps you your team to look at the picture. Coach is a mirror. A coach is a mirror to the team. You have to showcase what is wrong, right? This is that mirror what you show to the team. This is one of the tools which will be that mirror, which you'll be showing to the team, right? On mirror, there's an interesting video which I've recently shot. Standard 9 physics. What are the types of mirrors? You have a plane mirror, you have a convex mirror, you have a concave mirror, right? And I've shot a video, what can be the coaching techniques which covers each of this mirror. Not necessarily as a coach, we have to be a plane mirror always. Sometimes you have to act as a concave mirror. Sometimes you have to act as a convex mirror in your coaching conversation. So do watch that video. It's on my channel. I'll be more than happy to have comments on that mirror. Okay. So coming back to this, this is also one of the very powerful tools, because the whole idea about this tool is that at one single glance, you come to see what are the patterns and anti-patterns and what can be the solution for them as a team. Again, the team has to own up the solution. You as a coach do not pass on that solution. Let the team figure out where they would like to place each of this point into the relevant quadrants. Okay, things which they want to keep, things they want to change, things which are positive, things which are negative. Would they like to create something new, accept something as is, preserve something so that at least the stability is maintained, or eliminate something? So that's the coaching wheel of change for all of you. A very powerful tool. Marshall Goldsmith has developed it, as I said, in personal coaching space, but I have taken it up into the agile coaching world. What is there? Okay, one of the last games, it's not a game actually, these are just some additional tools which are there, which I'm sure many of you would be using. I use them regularly. We have Slido, where you can do an online quiz. We have Kahoot, which is also a gamification tool which is there. And of course, we have Mentimeter, what is there, right? I mean, these tools we all should be using. Even though officers have resumed back, these tools are not going to go out of our life. Try to have these gamification exercise, try to have quizzes around it using these tools. They are very powerful tools. Most of the free versions have got a very great functionality with them, and they will help you to actually do it in a proper way, right? I mean, drive home the concept in a proper way, right? Yeah, I think we are almost out of time. I would also like to give an opportunity for participants to ask a question. Okay, and so on that note, let me take a pause in this session. Let me end this session. Again, repeating, these are not the only games. I have just tried to figure out the top 5 to 6 games out of a list. I had to also do a product backlog prioritization for this session, which game I should enter in, which game I should not put in here. So there are more games. In fact, the backlog is much bigger, but I thought that I will share some very, very important games, some very, very powerful techniques, which I have done as a part of my coaching journey. So on that note, I will take a pause on my session. Those of you who are interested, do connect with me on LinkedIn. Do connect with me on YouTube. I'll be more than happy to have you and watch this. Okay, have your feedback on it. And yeah, I think we have questions coming up. Which of these tools are for banking scenario? As I said, these are not for any particular scenario. You can use it in any of these tools in any of the industry. These are industry domain agnostic coaching tools which I have used. As I said, I have used them in entertainment industry. I have used them in banking, telecom, finance, airlines also for that matter. I have used these techniques. So on that note, yeah, open for any questions. I hand over the baton back to you. And yeah, if there are any questions, feel free to ask me.
Yeah, team, please post
Yeah,
your
I'm
questions in
reading
the
the
chat.
chat messages as they're coming up.
Yeah, maybe which.
So specific to banking, that's what I said. All tools I've used in banking. That is exactly what I'm saying. All tools I've used across everywhere. There's no specific to banking industry as such. See, as a coach, remember one thing. Today, you might be working in a banking industry. Within 6 months, you might be put into an entertainment industry, right? So that's what we need to remember here. Okay. Any other question? Anyone has? I hope I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Second. Any questions?
I think I'm not able to hear you. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Sorry for that. There's a problem in my speaker. I'm not able to hear you, though I'm able to speak, but I'm not able to hear you.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I can hear you now. Can you speak now? Sorry.
Yes, yes, Ashutosh. Can you hear us?
1 minute. 1 minute. No, there's some problem. Wait a minute.
Yeah, keep asking the questions in the chat window, team.
I
I
think now
see.
I can. Yeah, now I can hear you. Sorry. I lost something in between. Were you speaking? Sorry.
Yes, yes, Ashutosh. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so there are a couple of questions in the chat. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So Ritesh is asking, each organization has a specific culture. How can these techniques be applied to them?
So confrontational culture doesn't mean that you cannot apply gamification techniques, right? Again, try it with small things, right? Don't directly try these games with leadership. Try with your teams first, then see the results and then move ahead, right? So here I would say go with a bottom-up approach. With leadership. You have to apply these techniques in a different way. Maybe you'll have to say that, okay, let's have fun at work session. You don't have to say that I need a coaching session with you. You have to say that we need a fun at work session with you, and this is something outside the work which I want to implement, nothing to do with work. That is how you should approach these tools if your leadership is not keen from a gamification point of view. That's how I would suggest.
And this
How
money.
much technical background? Yeah, how much technical background it helps in coaching? I think there's a very famous model of Lisa Atkins where she talks about the competencies needed for an agile coach. And one of the competencies is technical competency. Does it mean that I should be building the DevOps pipeline? No, but I should know conceptually, schematically, what exactly is DevOps pipeline and how it is constructed, right? And where exactly could be the bottlenecks in a DevOps pipeline. So that is what I should be aware of. So definitely, yes, technical competency is needed, but not to the extent what a DevOps coach or a DevOps consultant needs. It is more at, I would say, at a high level is what as coaches we should be aware about it.
Sure. And Chakrapani is asking about which tools you suggest for handling sprint retrospection in better way.
I would still go with the dice which I had. The story cubes is what I have used extensively. Coaching wheel of change, although I have used it, but it is more for sensitizing a team. So that takes a little longer time. But the dice one is a better tool actually. The Rory story cubes is a better tool, what I would say.
Okay. And Ritesh Agarwal, example, an organization has a confrontation culture. Will these tools and techniques fit in there? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I already answered that question. I think you'll have to take it slow there,
Yeah.
right? You'll have to go there and take it very, very slow as a part of it, right? Because confrontational culture means team members, I mean, the leadership will not be aligned with that. So I told, right? I mean, start with small teams and then with the leadership, go in for a fun at work session kind of a scenario. That will work in that coaching construct, especially when the teams are confrontational or leadership is very confronting as such.
Okay. And Vishnuvardhan, please give example of using dices for domain or project where you have used or suggested.
Where you have, sorry, what?
Used or suggested.
As I said, right, I've used it in banking projects, I've used it in insurance, telecom, entertainment. So those are the areas where I have used it. So see, again, don't restrict yourself that tool one is only, see, this is a problem with tools. We try to think that one tool, only one domain. No, whatever I told you in last 50 minutes, 1 hour, this can be applied across any agile transformation engagement, irrespective of the domain. It is the domain agnostic tools which I have suggested here. So maybe the application would vary or the results might vary, but this is something which can be applied across the domains which are there.
Right. Super. Any more questions? Yeah. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I think yeah. So these gamification techniques are really useful when we are in agile world, especially if you want to have a very high collaborative team. This is much needed and need of the hour. And as I always say, Scrum Master is a coach for the team, and Agile coach is for the multiple teams. Okay, and also being a Scrum team member, you need to be very participative and collaborative, and that's how we voice up our opinions. And these tools certainly helps irrespective of the domains and projects, as Ashutosh was saying.
Mhm.
Yeah. And any last questions? I think we are good. Yep. Thank you, Ashutosh, for taking a time on Saturday morning and giving a power pack of information to our members. We are glad to be associated with you, and maybe in future next session can be one more session on your Queen of Hearts, a case study maybe. Okay, that
Yeah,
will.
that obviously would have to be a workshop then in that case. Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, we can have a workshop on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you once
Mm.
again. We have Venkat and Komal, on behalf of the board. Thank you very much for taking your time, Ashutosh. It was a great learning from you. And
Thanks. Thanks.
sure. And team, this is the next topic. Lean Kanban and Scramban will be covered by our own member Manohar. And after that, we are planning on the Scrum framework, basics on Scrum by Gokul. Okay, so these are the upcoming workshops for the from the PMIPCC. PMP workshop on Jan 7th, 8th, 21, 22, and February 4, 5, 11, 12. The ACP workshop is on February 4th, 5th, 11th, and a Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master workshop on Jan 17th to 28th. Please do contact the Academy or ping the Telegram to get more details on the workshop. And as always, we will be auto crediting your PDU. We'll be getting one PDU in the ways of working segment. uh, whoever registered and attended for this session, the PDUs will be auto credited. Please be patient with that because it takes some time, at least 3 to 4 days or within a week. It will take some time to credit auto credit the PDUs. And any questions you can reach out to us. And thank you once again, team, on joining on Saturday morning. And we'll be meeting again in the next session on the Lean, Kanban, and Scrum Pan. Thank you. Thank you all, and have a good day.
Thanks, PMIPCC for again inviting me, and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashita. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.